My name is Kristen Curry from WhiteHeart Henna, and today I'm going to show you how to practice simple henna designs at home. To get started, you will need a henna cone, a scissors, the clean surface you wish to work on, whether it be your skin or paper, and a paper towel to wipe the tip of your henna cone off. Other options are Q-tips and rubbing alcohol to clean up any smudges or mistakes you may make. The most important thing you will need is your henna cone. You will have a lot of options, from pre-made cones at ethnic grocery stores and gift shops to local and online sources. Real natural henna does not have a long shelf life once it is mixed, so know that the cones available for under $5 at the Indian or African grocery stores are generally mixed with other dyes or chemicals and will not have a reliable stain. They are a cheap choice for a beginner, however, and I myself used them when I first got started. If you live in Portland, Oregon, you can purchase pre-made cones from me at WhiteHeartHenna.com or purchase pre-made cones from Silk & Stone on Belmont. Let's begin. Take your cone into your hand and carefully snip off the tip using a sharp scissors. You must be careful to only take a tiny little amount off of the tip. You can always cut more off, but you won't be able to get the tip back if you take off too much. Test the cone by squeezing out a small amount onto your paper towel. If you have to squeeze really hard or nothing comes out, trim off a tiny bit more. If you take off too much, your line will be very thick and it will be hard to do detailed work. The way you hold the henna cone is a matter of personal preference. I generally hold my cone like this, but other people like or use methods like this. Whatever feels most comfortable and natural for you and allows you the ease of motion is what you should use. The traditional designs you often see in henna or mehndi that look very intricate and intimidating are really just small repeated elements of design. If you've never done henna before, you may want to try some basic elements of design that will be incorporated into larger designs and to help you get used to maneuvering the cone. Here are some basic strokes and elements of design that we'll be using in our flower pattern. The dot, the hump or gingerbread, the heart, swirls, tails or paisleys, the drop and drag, and the squiggle. An important thing to note here is that applying henna is different from drawing with a pen or a pencil. When you're drawing with a henna cone, you don't actually touch the tip directly on the skin to draw the design on. You are laying the paste on top of the skin, more like frosting a cake. The only time the tip actually drags against the skin is when you are shading, as you will see in our flower petals. Now you are ready to attempt a basic flower design, which you can embellish on in your own personal style. I recommend starting with your own or a friend's hand. If you are doing the design on yourself, you will be using your dominant hand to draw, and your other hand as the surface. If you are doing someone else, it is also best to start with your non-dominant hand. Set your hand relaxed on a stable surface. It could be your leg, a table, or a cushion in your lap. You want your hand to be relaxed and still, as this will prevent your hand from shaking during the application. We'll start with the largest central flower. Start with a large dot. Now carefully outline that dot, making a circle around it. On the edge of the circle you just drew, place more dots evenly spaced. Now draw humps around those dots, using them as guide. This will be the center of your flower. Next, we'll add the petals. We'll take the heart shape that we learned in the elements of design to make heart-shaped petals around the center. You're going to try to keep your petals around the same width so that the flower looks symmetrical. Once you are satisfied with your petals, we're going to make a dark, heavier outline along the outside edge of the petals. You can also use this dark outline to even up the length and the width of your petals to make them look more even. Now we're going to shade the petals by putting the tip in that axis outline you just made and dragging it down. How light or how far you shade the petals is a matter of preference. You can also experiment with shading the petals from the bottom. Next, we'll add some leaves, swirls, and other embellishments so that our design extends further up the hand and down one finger. An important thing to note is once you have marked your central flower, you'll be working your design from the top down. The fingers will be the last thing to be adorned because if you start to fill in the design at the bottom first, you're going to risk smudging that work as you apply henna to the top. Also, it can be helpful to hold or anchor yourself on the lower hand while you work on the top so that your hand is steady, and obviously if it is wet with henna, this will be difficult. For the leaf, we're going to draw an outline that looks paisley shaped. Now from the base of the leaf to the top, we'll mark out the center stem, and then fill in the sides of the leaves with slanted lines that are pretty close together. Another tip is to repeat elements of design within your complete design. If you choose a particular kind of leaf or embellishment in one part, try repeating it elsewhere within the design, which will really help tie it together. Since we use this leaf once, we'll use it again in the bottom half of our design. Take a look at your design's composition. Does it look heavier on one side than the other? Does it look fluid? You'll often want a hand design to wrap around the hand in an S-like fashion and to give the idea of movement. You can add additional flowers, vines, dots, or embellishments to achieve this. Once you're pleased with the appearance of your design, you must sit still for at least 15 minutes or until the paste is completely dry. You'll know your henna is dry when it is no longer wet or glossy to look at and looks similar in consistency to dried toothpaste. Once you've reached this stage, you may want to apply lemon juice and sugar to your design. All you'll need is almost equal parts of lemon juice and granulated sugar. Heat the lemon juice on the stove or in the microwave so that the sugar dissolves, and then gently apply this solution with a cotton ball over completely dry paste, or purchase henna sealant spray from me at WhiteHeartHenna.com. This will not only deepen the color of your henna, it will keep your henna from smudging or flaking off when it dries, because you want to leave that paste on as long as you can, 10 to 15 hours if you can manage. When you are ready to remove the paste, scrape it off gently rather than scrubbing it off with soap and water. I often use the dull side of a butter knife to scrape off any remaining bits of henna. Welcome to the world of a beautiful and ancient tradition. Once you get comfortable handling a cone, you can let your creativity run wild. Subscribe to stay tuned for more videos on mixing your own henna and more advanced designs. For more inspiration or questions, please visit my website at WhiteHeartHenna.com.